I once knew a spy. Spies. Knew a spy. She was brilliant, erratic, cursed, an anti-personnel mine in human form. Her friends called her Hershel, but for her controllers, she was CASCADE.
Your name and your cryptonym. A dead limb twitches.
Portofino 91. The whole sick crew. A disaster untold. The black page in the official records.
The memory hums, an exposed wire.
None at all. Yet here we are, standing over the smashed and leaking world. Some fool dropped it. One of ours, probably. She was recalled. They put her in the freezer. Forever, most thought. 5 years passed. A little more of the world leaked out of itself. CASCADE's controllers ordered her back to Portofino. Because I asked them to. There's a new assignment, CASCADE. I was supposed to give you the brief. Right here, in an armchair in a safe house above a 24-hour photo shop in the city-state of Portofino. No one special, just an arm-like sack of cytoplasm, a special move unique to single-cell organisms. But before that, I was like you, a spy for the People's Republics, one of the varieties of mankind. This is a dangerous place, CASCADE. I should never have come. One that could really turn things around. For you, of course. Independent thought and movement are a bit beyond me in my current state.
This was the human game, and he played it poorly. Time to give up his seat.
Too late, operant. I'm smashed and leaking. Whatever happens has already happened.
Splayed on the chair before you is a man, approximately mid-30s. His chest rises and falls in steady rhythm as he stares beyond you, unblinking. Alive, yet not alive. A pair of headphones have slipped partway off his head, connected to a stereo system beside him. No response. His eyes are still fixed glassily on the ceiling. Cream paint, peeling slightly. A small room in a city past its prime. Nothing to suggest why the man is so interested in it. You get no response, no flinch, No twitch. As you stare down at him, the man begins to draw. Horn-rimmed glasses, impeccably dialectical, more commonly found on book sleeve portraits of men decades his senior. Highly pleasing rubbability. Stiff collared shirt, a snug brown jacket, and nothing below the waist but a pair of red briefs. Being a lone operant in a foreign land is a pressurized role. Some require extreme release. There is no smell of alcohol, nor any open containers. No drug paraphernalia either. Just a loose cord trailing to the stereo system. Like a cosmonaut's safety tether. Your fingers detect a low, steady hum where jaw meets neck. Elevated, but not critical. When in theatre, an operant must always prepare to be assassinated. Of course, it is better not to be killed. Would be easier to confirm if you could find a note, or at least a method. If so, it's nothing to do with you. Probably. The man's eyes glisten. Bright red veins blossom around their edges. He could be cursing your name or chanting absolution. It's impossible to tell. However he ended up like this, the result is the same. Operant down. Not even a flicker of a response. The people's spy cannot be caught shirking. Time to escalate. Clipped to the inside flap of his jacket, you find a laminated badge, emblazoned with the crest of the Import-Export Bureau of the People's Republic of Kohila. The name reads Esteman T. Below that, a title, Imports Lead. Sock Merchant, one of the opera's most battle-tested covers. That's what the badge says. This is only a cover, but such phantoms often mimic the Operant Bureau's actual hierarchies. Notably absent is an actual phone number. Into your pocket it goes. The people spies will not be caught shirking. You grab him by his skinny shoulders and heave him upright, his head lolling backward as he rises. He lands in an awkward position, like a crumpled puppet, bony hips raised to the air like antennas. A drop of blood shines on his lip. He must have bitten his tongue on the way down. Out of his chair he looks smaller, more fragile, and somehow deeply lost. Thousands of miles away, his mother flinches in her sleep. Like any good operant, he's keeping all cards pressed to chest. The man's head slips 2 centimeters to the left. His jaw slides with it. In another life, you are both earnestly selling your cotton wares, far beyond the shadows of international intelligence. This small table has been turned into a makeshift desk. A startlingly red folder stands out against the clutter. In the Operant Bureau's elaborate filing system, red is reserved for personnel files. Amidst the crumpled sheets of copy paper and empty takeout containers, you find an open pack of cigarettes, Suprema mark. Smokes, ease of mind, cool. There's nothing outwardly noteworthy about this pack of Suprema 100s. It's like any other found in commissaries and corner stores across the People's Republics. Except secreted neatly against the inner wall of the pack, just as you were once taught to do yourself, a crisply folded sheet of A7 paper. Vijupwul, Vubsquux, Ongs, Sixfazul, Exquam, Yijizv, Digaruk, Ravux, Skilbuch, Jittabubaki, Wutsup, Sift, Hugtok, Huichk, Slaw. The pack slides nicely into your pocket, as though it always belonged there. A small label in the top left corner is printed with one word, your cryptonym, Cascade. The colour reminds you of pomegranate. Your hand hesitates. The folder opens with a whoosh. Before you, in neat monospace type, your life is condensed to its barest elements. Name Wilk Hershel, cryptonym Cascade. Born Landau, former Republic of Mercia. Dependents, none. Pay class D2. Years of service, 14. All true. None of it useful just now. According to the opera's remembrances, raw facts are the totality of your being. There's another page behind this one. It's labelled Service History. A tingle in your fingers. Your head grows lighter as you approach the crash site. In just a few words, the worst failure of your life is reduced to bureaucratic shorthand. Previous assignment, Portofino 88 to 91. Network, whole sick crew. Operants, Cascade. Redacted. Assets, redacted, 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 redacted. A secret the opera has elected to keep from itself. Obvious, the opera wanted him to know what sort of spy he'd be working with. Most recent assignment, November 91 to present, Satellite Facility B. AKA the freezer, where the old, useless and discredited are assigned to wander the climate-controlled hexagonal galleries until they're dismissed or die of despair. Or very occasionally, until fate recalls them to the opera's service. Now if only you can figure out why. The folder shuts itself with a tiny sigh. You pick up the phone. The handset vibrates in your palm. Before you even finish speaking the word, the device connected to your phone base splits it into 256,000 encrypted fragments. The magic box, one of the proudest achievements of the Opera's Technical Services Office. Half a world away, a familiar voice splits into a corresponding number of fragments before coalescing again by your ear.
Please tell me you have good news.
The voice of authority, otherwise known as your controller.
Operant Cascade, you made it. Your voice hasn't changed.
Her voice is just as you remember.
We'll get to your problem in a moment. Put Pseudopod on the line.
You glance over at the man face down on the floor. A snail's trail of dried saliva glints on the side of his chin. You feel your mind starting to spin up. 5,000 revolutions per minute. It takes all your concentration to keep the receiver steady against your ear. For a moment, no one says anything. There's no sound at all, save for the blood in your ear and the electrostatic hum of the ultra-long distance connection.
Has he been zeroed out?
Meaning eliminated, killed, rendered inoperant. The language of distance, a measure of cotton to muffle the fear.
I'll ask one more time. Is your double zeroed out?
You must speak the word. She cannot make the determination herself. 5,000 kilometers away, in a small office deep underground, a mid-level controller of the Operant Bureau leans forward and cups a hand over her earpiece. Her other hand hovers above the keyboard, ready to faithfully record your next words. Her eyes reflect the glow of the terminal screen. She's been at her desk for 14 hours today. Once you say it, there's no going back. The momentum of events will overtake you.
Yes, you do. Is he zeroed out, Operant? Right. I wonder which it is. Have our enemies blown us up already? Or is this just another day at the basement massage parlor of spy services? Fucking hell. The Opera's going to hang me by the toes. For you, it's back to Satellite Facility B.
The freezer, shiver, resist.
Get real, Cascade. This isn't your personal redemption tour. You haven't even got the assignment. Listen to me. This assignment is over. Effective immediately.
Over. Immediately. The words ricochet inside your skull.
The woman in the photo shop downstairs, Constance. She's one of ours. Let her deal with Pseudopod.
Middle-aged woman, dark hair behind the counter. You exchanged a few words when she gave you the key.
Do not tell her anything she doesn't need to know. As for you, we need to get you on the next aerotram out of the city.
Already your mind is settling back into familiar grooves. Old mechanisms slide and click into position. That numberless phone line may be worth investigating. Perhaps the room contains other leads as well. They won't be expecting you back in the People's Republics for several days. Plenty of time for some self-directed espionage.
Let the photo lady deal with him. Your concern is getting out of Portofino, understand?
The People's spies are infallible and incorruptible. Reject reactionary pessimism. You've been out of action for 5 years. The Opera wouldn't rush sending you back in theatre, unless... Half a moment's hesitation, then...
Where'd you get that idea?
Not a denial. Proceed.
A highly original thesis, also completely irrelevant now. There should still be flights departing for Superblock territory tonight. Make sure you're on one of them. It was no one, a ghost in the wire. The assignment's over. Get on the next tram. Then you're going to end up like Pseudopod. Zeroed out. Your choice.
A click, and the line goes dead. You dial your controller's number. Raw information atomizes itself. On the other side of the world, a phone rings.
I thought you were headed out. What is it? Now you've heard it. Get moving, operant.
The line goes... You dial your controller's number. Raw information at...
I thought you were headed out. What is it? You have your directives. Get moving, operant.
The line goes dead. A pair of men's trousers are hung delicately over the shower rail. If Pseudopod's pants were attempting to flee the scene, they did not make it very far. One of the many mysteries concerning men's trousers. He was trying to smooth out creases with shower steam. Brown, shapeless, they are utterly unremarkable. The front and back pockets are completely empty, except for a few pieces of lint. Your hoisting must have compressed his lungs somehow, unless you discover a small extra pocket inside the front right pocket. You slip 2 fingers inside and come away with a neatly folded sheet of paper. The page is notebook-sized and perforated along one edge. It reads, THA space 7 alias APR space 032 space. The missing companion to the cipher you discovered in the cigarette packet. Totally meaningless, yet no one that could be applied to the ciphertext you found in your personnel file. As you turn away, a stray thought passes. They may never be worn again. You return to the desk. Everything is right where you left it. Letter by letter, words emerge from the mist. They speak in a voice you haven't heard for a long time. The day beyond the window beckons you outward.
Following the cord from your doubles headphones, you come to a mid-sized home stereo resting on a sideboard.
A prototype 0909 50-watt with multi-disc changer. Last generation model, designed for affordability at the expense of power and clarity. Through the translucent view panel, you see a single red disc loaded in place. On the face of the disc are the words, ultravioletta, you but from a dream, handwritten on thin strips of tape. You don't recognize the artist. So is the disc, ready to spin. The chunky button makes a satisfying little thunk as you push it in. The plastic latch clicks into place, and the discus begins to turn. You know because the spindle is rotating, though the speakers don't produce any sound at all. It doesn't appear to be. The disc is spinning the way it's meant to. An artifact of no substance onto which nothing of substance has been recorded. No sound, save the thin layer of static that lines the inner cables. Amateur wire work. The static quiets as you reset the volume. A great relief shivers through you, though nothing. A brief internal hum. Then the disc slides halfway out of the machine and waits there, like it's trying to hide from you. You remove the red disc and place it into your pocket. You step away from the equipment.
The stereo is right where you left it.
Crimson flashes within its casing as no sound. Amateur wire work. Or do you? You can't tell. The silence is being overtaken by a different silence, like the slow darkening of night across the wall of an empty room. This new silence seeps into every corner of your body, loosening fixtures, rattling drawers, seeing what will come with it. The static quiets as you reset the a brief you remove the... You step away.
Easy, lady. I just want to develop some photographs. I'm not trying to take your innocence. You have a wild imagination. A little photo should not count as a crime. It's not like it's a loaded gun or something. Stark realities that prevent me from pursuing my interests. Also racism, maybe. What? The what? Cat? You must be huffing photochemicals with this confused woman. Perhaps you share an alternative lifestyle. Very well. Photo 24 can have this round. Thank you for this extreme stress I'll now carry through my day.
Divorced. I don't presume to know the inner workings of the opera, but I have to think I could be better utilized. A bit early for such a declaration, isn't it? You've only just arrived. It's that little amber light. It means out of order, and I haven't been able to get it to green, meaning in order.
Just looking at that thing causes you to take psychic damage. Best stay away.
Pseudopod assured me this machine was a vital tool of communication, as precious to our work as the magic box we installed on your room phone. You've received all sorts of technical training, I presume. I would think getting a little light to turn green should be well within your powers.
A dread beast hum in with dormant power. A handless scribe. It just needs to be soothed.
I certainly don't. It looks rather flirtatious. Seedy business attracts itself. You might try one of the bars along Party Alley. much better, thank you.
Finally, someone with courtesy. Do you know when the 9 is coming?
A handsome man shifts in place, glancing over his shoulder toward the tram lines. Suitcases surround him.
Sorry to bother you, madame. I suppose not everyone is stranded here like myself. I'm waiting on the 9. I was told it was having some problems. But it's supposed to be in service any day now.
An exotic air about this man, difficult to place, and exceptionally handsome. The suit he's wearing hasn't been changed in days.
Zunzark, a long way from here.
Part of the global periphery, not aligned with one of the major power blocks. More than 20% of the world's phone scams originate from a single unmarked building on the edge of its capital city.
I was told it's supposed to be in service any day now. That was a week ago.
Enough time to grow accustomed to new surroundings and start noticing things.
I would appreciate it. I did see a man like that some days ago, I think. Near the bazaar, in fact.
Our sleeping brother.
No, he was alone. Why do you ask? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll keep an eye out. Thank you. I'll be here in the meantime. Waiting.
You hear laughter and music ahead. You can still make out the lower half of the words "Elk Free" sticking out on the brick beneath. The old factory is mangy with past identities, an archaeological record of Portofino turf war. It has been many things over its lifetime. For now, it is a black market brimming with foreign imports. The silk factory was once the pride and lifeblood of Portofino. Whoever occupies it occupies the city's soul, even in ruins. You also have the red disc from the stereo system. You could seek out a media vendor to assess it.
The fire exit stands conspicuously ajar. Someone has wedged it open with a ball. Wrong. Ball wants to play, not wedge. Nobody is paying any particular attention to the door, or seems close enough to care. Suspiciously nonchalant. They're just going about their days. It's a pelota ball, the local variation of handball. Pelota balls are not designed for use as doorstops. Someone has elevated this ball to contraption status. It's just a ball in a door. A hallway. It's just a fire exit. A fine place to hide in a moment of crisis. Marked and remembered. No, it's a trap. Must be destroyed. You emerge into the dark insides of a deceased mechanical beast. The only light comes from above a set of steel stairs, which you alight carefully, gripping the cold railing. The fire exit remains ajar, ball wedged into the crack. You pocket the ball and close the fire door firmly.
Excuse me. Can you take a look at this? No, nothing like... Have you seen him before? Have you? Mi viejo, my dad. He's been missing a few days. He probably just started walking and got lost. Old people do that kind of thing. He's kind of forgetful sometimes. Not a lot, but I'm just worried. I told him watching too much TV was making him crazy. After Dad retired, his friend Gilmar turned him onto this show, the reality situation. They were obsessed, had them convinced they were truth detectives. And it's just a guy with a paper bag on his head rambling about invisible aircraft carriers and iodine-deficient children. Dad and Gilmar were always following up on leads and calling into the show. It felt like Bagman was encouraging them, you know? That's what I was scared of. Look, this is kind of embarrassing. My dad developed this insane theory about the payphone to the western exit of the bazaar. Dad thought certain words said into the right phone gets you attention from the wrong people. He was convinced Petre was behind it all. Bagman did an episode on them, and so Gilmar started following random people, thinking they were from the bank. Not long after, he roped my dad into it. Guys in expensive business suits, usually. Foreign accents, verbally abusive, and tight with their money. Except when it comes to treating a client. Normal rich guy stuff. Hitting up the bars and shouting abuse at the local drunks. And then they disappeared into penthouses where they couldn't be followed. Yeah, that's what mi viejo thought. He went home, but Gilmar stayed out. And then he called my dad around 2 in the morning. He'd overheard something and was explaining it when the call just cut off. My dad went by his house the next day, but Gilmar wasn't there. I asked my dad if the phone call was a nightmare or if he forgot Gilmar was going on a trip. I thought maybe the show was getting into his head, you know? Dad really believed it, though. He looked for him for 2 weeks, reported him missing to the GMs. Nothing. They seem pretty random. Cousins, moon, reunion. On their own, sure. Together? Gibberish. I guess. When he tried to tell me, I wasn't really paying attention to him. He had those written down on a pad in his bedroom. He told me not to say them if I used the phone. It all sounded so silly. A couple days ago, he stopped by the stall to bring me lunch. Then he said he was going to make a call. I wasn't nervous at first. I figured there was no risk of anything actually happening. And then he didn't come home. Yeah. It's just crazy old man shit. He probably just wandered off. Yeah, thanks for humoring me. Don't pay too much attention to it. He'll probably turn up any day now. Yeah. You want a wig? I hear they make you fun at parties. Oh yeah, he came by. Nice man. Talked a lot about socks. He was, normal. Pretty forgettable, if I'm honest. I told him, unless your socks are mismatched and neon-colored, I'm not much use to you. Not really. Wandered off into the bazaar. What do you mean, something's happened? Did he use the phone? Oh, well, at least you have that. Sorry. Yeah, I was kind of distracted when he showed up. Why? No! Of course I am. But what if they do? It's the phone by the western entrance to the bazaar. Sometimes when I'm standing here, I think I hear it ringing. Nobody else can hear it but me. Oh, that's Ultravioleta, the Lusian pop star. Always thought that type of music was too young for me, but I've been enjoying her stuff recently for some reason. No, but it's definitely her kind of title. Weird disc, that. Oh, you should ask Petre at the music stall over there. He'll know more. Doubt he's an ultra. Yeah, they're right there. Take a look. That'll look funny on you, yeah. Cool. You need anything else? Thanks for stopping by.
A vertical safari of stuffed animals, all loose stitching and cheap fabric, with cotton hemorrhoids showing at the seams. Plushies in various sizes, colours and denominations. If they're from something, you don't recognise it. Immobile grins, middle fingers to nature itself. Each plushie is branded with an obviously counterfeit brand name of Zoo Textile. Next to it, the vendor has stickered each different model, each one numbered 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6. There are no number 3s. You scour the mound of fake flesh for the missing model. There doesn't seem to be a single number 3 left in the entire display. You look all over the flowing pile of animal humiliation. Not one of them is labelled number 3. Boring, uninspired, obvious. Each Bulbasaur represents a beast defanged, defenseless. Within this deformity lies the essence of their irresistible cuteness. Helpless in your arms, the creature can do nothing but smile. A vulnerability manufactured in order to make the consumer aware, blatantly, of their own savage desires. You take pleasure in caring for it, because you know that you could destroy it. The plushie is a tool for instilling impulse control in children. Their use by adults is a symptom of an unresolved relationship with violence. You must elevate your focus, clear your mind of the plushie's maddening absence. Again, your eyes are drawn to the column of plushies. Cartoonish, bulbous. They make a forceful contradiction, an insult to flesh which make you more aware of your own beating heart. Finally, you see it clearly. Plushie number 3 is you. Techno-fascism is the hot new thing. None watch you depart. On the TV, a giant wolf-like creature stands up on its hind legs and howls. Its fur bristles gold. Dangerous, mythical, electrifying. No wonder the kids are watching this. Suddenly, the beast roars and light floods the screen. It's followed by a wet, pulpous sound. An acceptable mimicry of a skull liquefying under extreme thermal stress. LED lights are distributed evenly along the blade. Durable PVC held with The Luz, once a powerful empire, now reconstituted as a modern techno-fascist state, the rising military and cultural power of the day. Aren't they going on trips to the Luz? Must be a high flyer, rare in Portofino. Notice that the broadcast is in Mercian, not Lusian, dubbed for a foreign audience. Troubling, especially if Lusian cultural exports are what they primarily consume. A neurotically organized stall, about 10 meters west. A morose man stands there obsessively cleaning a disc-like object. A man of strong opinion that he's not afraid to shout about, even to children. Neither sounds terribly enticing. Ridiculous. These wobbling open chassis abominations can barely function on solid ground. Some Portoferans refer to Lusians as strange cousins, a nod to this island's colonial past. Certainly not part of La Luz. It's a wealthy state in the developed world, known for its bogs and poets. A mere 4-hour flight, but there are no commercial flights between Portofino and the Illuminated Empire. Perhaps you should let children be children. Let's be logical. Whoever needs it more, you, obviously, should have it. Why would you take this from him? He clearly treasures the toy. It's easy. You've had loads of life experiences, just pull them all together. No irony, only the truth. Slowly, the kids turn away from you. The children ignore you, entranced by the television.
cramped drivers, cheap plastic housing. Mass-produced excrement. These animals pleasure themselves in it.
Those smears near the optical pickups?
That's not damage. Shame. It oozes out over time. You see this? Each one guaranteed for 10,000 replays. Obscene! That's right. Imaginative faculties dulled by senseless repetition. Forgive me, friend. I'd mistaken you for a common replayer. Too much to ask, I expect, that you're a fellow Einzelton aficionado?
Yes. It is. Further than most people get, at least.
Go ahead. Browse away. My name's Petre. If you need anything, I'll be here. Lamenting what's left of the culture.
The vendor's eyes narrow behind his orange lenses.
This is a media store. Not the missing persons division. Also one of the GMs with questions like that. I try. Though most of humanity fades into an indistinguishable morass of banality. This colleague, what does he look like? The sock boy. Dialectical-looking glasses. Air of advanced virginity.
Back in Foto 24, your would-be double gurgles his ascent.
Yes, he came by here. Little communist lost. Adrift among the many wonders of the free market. Air of a child hastily abandoned at a fire station, waiting on a mother who won't be coming back. A vivid might be a stretch. Let's just say the man was definitely mobile. He was dreaming big, I'll give him that. Also dreaming moronic. Your dialectical friend mistook himself for some sort of big money businessman. He wanted the bazaar to import superblock hosiery. Socks to start with, but there was talk of cotton tights, even stockings if the venture took off. No. And to be honest, I wouldn't have wasted the stock. He seemed immune to music. You're joking, of course. He didn't even know what a velo disc was, let alone an Einzelton. At a certain point, I'm just debasing myself. Of course not. I don't sell socks. So is he all right, your man? Or what? Ah, so you're also a communist. But you're not that little, or particularly lost. lost, I'd say. I'll be blunt. Are you with a weeping eye? Because they've been especially active here recently. Usually they just let things slide. All the Lucian merchandise. Good for everyone. But these days, they're staring right at us. Unblinking. Keep them. If things get too hot, I can always slit my wrists with a shard of Velodis before they take me down. My point is, your colleague was asking questions. Now, something's obviously happened, and here you are, also asking questions. Given the current climate, no one wants to answer these questions, least of all, me. Then I would attempt to educate, obviously. I'm not some kind of street hustler, friend. My merchandise is mega premium, the best this side of the big blockers. I'll tell you what I told your sock friend. Speak to the boatman down by the vest. He's the one who knows the underground goings-on around here. We're just the vendors. The cool one. Excessive sunglasses. Relaxed aura, likely on a boat. No way of confusing him. Wonderful. Now for all our sakes, please say no more. If you want to talk media formats, I'm your man. This other stuff. Culture. Portophiran. Scrapped. This new Lucian mania is all-consuming. Nobody wants anything that isn't techno-fascist trash, including, apparently, their own souls. That would be preferable to the truth of things. There is no politics to it that they can see. They just want something they can idiotize themselves with. You'd think we had run out of brick walls. I take it this means Luz hasn't managed to make it into wherever you're from. Good for you. Well, it isn't. Anything we once had has been consumed, overwritten, digested, and shat out by Luz. And the worst thing is, we know it. We just don't care. The culture blockade was designed to prevent this, but now anyone with the wits to create anything new just spends their time devising ways to get past the signal blockers and access Lucian drivel. Whole thing's a myth anyway. Failed project. Most of the crates I get from Luz come stamped by the Ministry of Mass Culture. They want it all out there. Interminable. Every day there's new formats, categories, each one more depraved than the last. Of course, I can't say that out loud. Customer, you know?
He says it to everyone.
Well, there was a certain period in the early years of Portophiran independence when everybody on this cursed island was holding their breath waiting for La Lutz to invade. But nothing happened. Instead, a few years later, the radio signals began coming in. Pop music, radio operas, later television shows. And here we are, on the front line, spreading our ears and legs wide open. I can't be sure, but I have reason to believe the media they let reach us isn't even the same one they broadcast to their own people. It's made for us. When the city caught on, they put up the signal blockers, but it was too late. Hopelessly. Like heroin addicts, but with no chance of rehabilitation. Picture a dog that shits, then eats it, then shits again. People are what they consume. I'll say no more. I thought you might, my friend. Sick fucking world. Still, we persevere. Or at least we persevere to persevere. Einzelton XR, to give it its proper title. The one true format. The apex of auditory technology. A high-fidelity yet dynamic sonic experience that self-effaces after a single play. Correct. It erases acid plays. The inherent idea being, of course, that you never play an Einzelton and have a more profound experience because of it. Some say that was the intention behind the red color scheme, a warning, so you would never misplay it. I think it was an aesthetic choice, personally. With Einzelton XR, the first time is the only time. A magnet embedded in the disc erases its contents as it's being listened to. As in life, everything happens only once. Replayability is oblivion, the end. It loses its resale value, and the uninspired replayer who listened to it loses a piece of their soul. Oh, yes. Completely. Though they'd have to have been pretty soulless to play it in the first place. X remnants. 0 remnants. The aftermath of a magnetic charge once you take the field away. The Einzelton magnets are so potent that the erasure is absolute. The X is meant to represent the negative, the complete absence of sound or vision. This was a very conceptual time for storage media, you understand. It was a very beautiful time, too. You can imagine the use cases yourself. Rental markets, promotional copies, that sort of thing. The technical origins are trite. Its deeper purpose is simply to exist, to remain in a rarefied realm of pure potentiality and infinite beauty. Don't forget, we too are single play only, erasing ourselves moment by moment. What do I look like to you? A common replayer? Good. I own several, if the word ownership applies to such a delicate relationship, but I would sooner molest myself than an Einzelton XR disc.
Where did you get this? Einzelton hasn't been available to regular consumers for a decade. A disc in good condition is worth thousands of sol to people who appreciate its wonders.
You played it? Filthy animals. Those. Better they recalled them all years ago. Better a mass manufacturing fault than this, to save them from this humiliation from being passed around like
like.
A light switch flips off in his eyes. He handles it as reverently as if it were a tiny plastic coffin.
I'm sorry. I assume fondling a human corpse would also make you feel pretty weird. If you want spiritual, find an unplayed one. This is the dark stuff. You're transgressing. No, I'm afraid it's not. No more potential, only anti-potential. Replayability is oblivion. The end. UV can only be ultraviolet. Degenerate Lucian Electrodrosser. There's a new fabricated star every day, it seems. But she's the top of today's pile. Do I look like I'm 14 years old and brain dead? The fact that it's committed to Einzeltone suggests it's some kind of promo copy. Some new advancement of degeneracy from across the Nos Correntes. This ultraviolet has gone missing at the moment. Kidnapped by counter-fascist radicals, whatever that means. Lucian marketing plot, if you ask me. Mystery, fragility, trying to add something of the legendary to her status. Things like her make me almost miss the days the Lucians were marching on the colonies. None of this is the Einzeltone's fault, of course. They can't control what gets seared upon them. You seem to have misunderstood my soliloquy. It's done. No mass. The beauty and the tragedy of the format. I hope you dispose of it with dignity. I think a private ceremony would be most appropriate. I'm afraid not. The format is near obsolete. Einzeltone is the past, yet it contains the future. How exquisite. So, your question is, Petre, how do I reanimate a corpse? I would class it as necrophilia, actually. I'll be honest, the thought is so disturbing to me that I've never entertained it before. But theoretically... Theoretically, it might be possible. You would have to repolarize, re-reminence processing, probably a concentrated magnetic flip, neodymium grade. It would involve some custom gear, no doubt, but my answer to your distressing question is yes. I think you could. Recapturing something that's already gone? Hopeless, I think. And grotesque. Don't ask me about this again. I feel unclean. Shelves are over there. Mostly crass replayable formats, but such is the degenerate society we live in. Missing? Is he? I'm not surprised. That fool and his friend would wander into the jaws of a lion if they were told to. That TV show, Idiot with a bag on his head, your regular stop for hysterical lies, paranoia. Every night at 9 p.m. The old fool was always regurgitating whatever he had heard on there the next day. It's no wonder it eventually led him into trouble.
Underlying the criticism is a lament that his own paranoia has no willing audience.
Maybe not. The bazaar is closing up soon. Another day, another cultural molestation.
Oh, it's you. What takes your fancy? Fair warning, wear those too much and they'll give you a nasty headache. You need anything else? Thanks for stopping by.
A cosmonaut suit. Its shoulder patch reads, "The stars are ours, 77.
If it is, then it's one of the few things for sale here that isn't a knockoff Lusian electronic, disc, or toy. A classroom with a buffed blue floor and white fiberboard tiling. The teacher rolls a square little television in on a cart. The girls in their final year of gymnasium gather round. The camera follows the white column up, and then it jerks or cuts out. When the picture returns, there's just a white cloud sprouting new white limbs. The rocket nowhere to be seen. For a long moment, none of the students can tell what's happening. Then, one by one, they realise. A faulty seal, a minor propellant leak. Next thing you know, 4 cosmonauts are splattered across the face of God. You and millions of school children the world over. Expensive, fruitless. The program's failure promptly tanks the Portaferan economy. Supreme Leader Nestor flees into his second exile not long after. As for the bazaar, it's saturated with surplus equipment, memorabilia, and replicas. This suit is most likely the latter. You once heard that the pressure in space can turn your whole body inside out. But that might be submarines. 5,000 sol. No wonder it's still here. People with that kind of money don't shop in the bazaar. Your focus widens back to the bazaar.
The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. The gap between leaves little room for passage. Only ghosts can pass freely between such crevices.
You push the gate. The metal creaks, but it doesn't move. It's held fast by a rusty chain. We're gonna need tools for this one. Rust speckles your fingertips. A system compromised at the subatomic level. A low, tilting shelf marked in heavy block letters. Despised subgenres. Various sections are separated by narrow plastic dividers, each one labelled with the same neat script. A baffling assortment. Hairdresser music, children's choirs, self-love anthems, opinionated female vocalists, and too many keyboards. A single label fills up the entire back row. L-pop. Leluz's state-sanctioned popular music format, algorithmically optimized, ideologically vetted, and chemically catchy.
Thank you. What galls me is that it doesn't matter how I label any of it. These animals thank me for being thorough, then buy two. And what exactly would you call adults who fawn over dolled-up starlets too young to even own the rights to their own music? Don't tell me you're one of them. Never is the only sane answer. Do you understand now? You were warned. Abundantly. By the labels. Not my fault if you choose to ignore them.
You turn your attention away from the shelf. You approach the steel door. Faint oxidation halo spread across it, blooming like algae on a sunken wreck. No response. There's still no response. A whisper beyond the doorframe. Ripples of frozen air, a shattered seal. 7 people stare through a window as an unseen hand taps at the glass. It's locked. Try one of the many doors that are not locked, or the open-air black market, which happily doesn't feature doors at all. You step back from the door. You flip the shutter lock open from the inside and slip out into Portofino. The Guardia Municipal officer is intensely scratching at his neck. As you approach, he wipes his hand on his pant leg. That monkey. Scaly reliefs and cracked plates, like some diseased armor. Common boar deterrents, loud noises and strong smells such as predator urine, placed in strategic locations. The way he intones the word mother suggests a primitive monotheist before an image of a graven god. A tinge of affection. But not dead, he reckons, by the way his face curdles. That's a lot of skepticism around reported and disappeared. He's not so much connecting dots as he's sketching them into existence. The largest corporate entity in Portofino, a monopoly over the city's telecommunications. Their logo is a cheerful dolphin. Hard to argue with a non-existent point. As you step away, the GM returns to scratching his inflamed skin.
Canned beverages are lined up like brightly coloured soldiers, neatly regimented behind coiled springs.
The can makes it. The refreshments remain.
The brightly coloured cans seem even more vivid upon your return.
The can makes it. The refreshments.
You're not Portaferan. And yet, this is the best we can do. But you're a long way from Marcia.
What happened, sugar tits? You get lost? Or are you just looking for company? Fair warning. Between us, we've only got a few salt to our names.
Animals. That's how it is with most pilots, though. Here. We're all strangers in this city. Why don't you join us? We've got nothing better to do. At least until the phone hugger over there fucks off or dies. Ex-pilots. Does Joe there look like he could get anything up, let alone a plane? Loud Joe. He doesn't talk much. I'm Pigeon. That's Slava over there.
Slava used to be the name of a fishing port company out of the north. My main cargo for a while. Packages stunk to high hell.
Guess.
All signs aren't meant to be flattering. So if he was named after a bird known for its wayfinding.
Allegedly.
Man's got no compass. Him couldn't make it to the payphone without using radar.
Joke's on you all anyway. I never minded pigeons. Tough little fuckers.
I did clockwork for it. Perishable goods, fruits, marrow fish, whatever spoils quick.
Military. Loudjow was what they call a lamprey, people smuggler. Zhao ran low-altitude missions in and out of the territories for, what, 10 years? Just high risk. The only reward is what happens to you when you get caught. Of course, a more technical pilot might have made it out, but... if you say so.
Officially, we're Lusian.
We're exiles. The reunion came for us. We came here.
The reunion. Laluse's grand annexation campaign. Slow, legal, often bloody. A creeping tide reclaiming, every few years, one more of their old colonies.
Well, I still have my tenantry passport. Stamped and all. Could fly back any day.
The tenantries of St. Olwyn, re-annexed in the early 80s.
Oh, sure. And end up like Joe here? Or worse?
Tell you what, Messiah. You grease my gullet. I'll tell you some fucked up stories. If it is, I won't be... Conspiracy or not, monsieur, I'm dying anyway.
She's right, though. Them doctors are a bunch of jokers. Almost as bad as suits.
Anyway, you're the foreigner here, monsieur, so you tell us. The Lucians, think they'll be here anytime soon?
Hear that? Smart and good looking.
Either way, that's for you lot to worry about. I'm out the door.
Wish I could say the same, sweet lips. Until next time, sugar.
Unwise to your presence, a lanky young man presses the handset against his flushed cheek. It practically clings to it, like a shipwreck survivor holding onto a piece of driftwood.
I don't know how much time we have. You have to help me fill it in. Please. I need to feel like my position's in jeopardy. Tell me you'll report me to human capital if I displease our counterparties. Oh, I think I forgot someone's title. She thinks I work with the mouth breathers in the trade office. In this suit? Unbelievable. Yes, I saw your colleague, hanging utterly deflated from this very payphone. It was despicable. Gah! As though I bothered to make a mental note. It was 2 days ago, evening time. Like the wretched of the earth, abandoned to shoulder a massive, indescribable burden all by himself. I could hardly look at him. Oh my God! You can't do that to me. But you really, really should. You know so much, and I so little. The power differential is grotesque. Highly problematic. Don't change it. I'm your faithful dog. I know nothing. I question less.
This is a private phone call. Please excuse yourself.
I saw her talking to the old pilots earlier. They must have sent her to listen in. Do I want her to watch? Oh, maybe, in theory, but you should see her. She's wearing some sort of fake facial hair, as though I couldn't tell.
Marcia? Sure, said I would. I flew from Tariska, small coastal town northeast of St. Alwyn proper. Was seeing a woman there. Ripped to Vortex E6 right off the tarmac.
Light craft, single turboshaft engine and a mere 120-litre biodiesel bladder. Favoured by the Answanian militia and guerrilla groups.
Lucian variant in this case, controls near illegible. Couple of days in, they started quelling the uprisings, and I'd heard enough about these things to how it was about to go down. So I hijacked her, right from the hangar. Didn't even fully remove the top.
They were going to make an example out of that city. Well, they did.
Steep climb, almost flamed out on the way up, but I rolled her clean over behind me. The city sprawled like veins in marble. Beautiful.
He edges out onto a thin sheet of memory, like a child on a frozen lake.
Same as they always did, except for the last time. I remember sun hitting the domes of the council houses and the harbour, hundreds of iridescent green sails. Beetle shells, we called them. Soon it was just me and the ocean. And then the light came. Burying bombs. Soft. Colorless at first. Then green and violet. Waves all over the shoreline and colors I didn't know existed. Swirling like oil in water.
The painter's nightmare, etched in bodies and fire.
Those bombs don't leave ruins, you know. Not even craters. Just smooth flatlands covered in fine grey dust. Aye, well here I am.
You want more stories like that, sweet cheeks? We're full of them. Wish I could say the same, sweet lips. It's got a couple things to recommend it, eh?
It's a bit shit, but it's fine.
You picture the words in bold on the cover of the world's least enthusiastic travel brochure.
Oh, you know. Got some real friendly locals. Skilled, too.
You'd be happy to live on a trash heap as long as you got to keep your phone sex, wouldn't you? Only if you're a dirty old man.
He talks as though he hasn't racked up more hours on the Miracle Line than he ever logged in flight time. Just another foreign money, man. City's been full of them lately.
Stuck-up little shit. Strolled in one evening, couple of nights back, picked up the phone and hasn't let go of it since.
We all want our turn, sugar. He's here every damn day. Stays on the line for hours. Doesn't care one bit if anyone else has had a turn or not. Only shuffles off once the sun sets. What are we going to do? Fight him? Even if somebody pummeled him half to death, he'd feel nothing. He's an empty suit. Not even the decency to be sad. Let him rot in wealth.
He's not rich, Slava. He just works for rich people. Ignore them, Marcia. They have no idea how money works.
Believe me, we've all had enough of the phone hugger.
Can't say anyone like that struck me, but a lot of people use the phone line. The only reason why we rarely notice the hugger is because he refuses to leave.
I would say ask the Duchess herself, but she doesn't talk about clients with other clients. She's professional like that.
From the superblock, eh? Interesting. But no.
Pseudopod. It's as though he had been as much of a non-person when he was alive as he is now.
Sure do, sweetheart. The good Dr. Hugo's on his houseboat right there. Reassuring to know that no matter how hot and heavy it gets, we're only 10 feet away from resuscitation. Wish I could say this. Please, sugar. We can't deal with any more competition. The money man has us down to quickies.
It's always connected, that's what. No dialing, no choice to call anyone else. You pick up that phone over there, done. She's there.
Duchess.
Coin got stuck in there sideways. Devil knows when. Phone call's been going on ever since.
One big session, sugar. At least 5 years long and half the city wide. Duchess versus the world.
Not too many people around here will be happy about that, I imagine. What I can tell you is this. When the rest of the Renotel payphones went wireless, that one stayed the same. Take from that what you will.
Why does everything have to be about money these days?
Oh, Slava would just love that, wouldn't you?
Better than most humans I know.
If it is about money, it's not in any way that concerns us. Line's been free for as long as anyone can remember. Will you look at that?
Now where did a sweet thing like you pick that up? What a way to go, eh? I've saved some recordings of Duchess to use privately, you know.
To answer your question, you used to see a few of these floating around, but not for years. Figure it was from before that phone was permanently hooked up.
I got nothing to hide. Can't speak for Pigeon though.
You want to tell us, don't you? Come on, what's your thing? It's the same with me and Duchess. I used to ask for some kinky stuff, but not anymore. We're friends now. Talk to a person for long enough, it's inevitable you end up becoming close. Provided, of course, you don't spend all that time asking her to make animal noises. In fact, regarding Duchess, I have a favor I need someone to do for me. You don't think you could help me out, do you? I bought a gift for Duchess's kids some time ago, but I haven't been able to track myself all the way up there. Can you give it to her for me? Thank you, Marcia. Honestly, I'm just sad I can't take it myself. Wait a minute. Here. Tell them, Grandpa Sam sent it. Remember that. Right. You know the housing campaign? Northwest from Party Alley. She's got a houseboat in the canal up there. Should be one of the only ones in the area. Thank you, Marcia. We'll be here.
Until next time, sugar.
The man doesn't react or turn as you approach, your feet echoing off the high metal.
I'd lost hope when you went in that building, but you came back out. Nice to meet a fellow public servant. Then some kind of rogue agent of safety, completely unwitting. That I was not expecting. The fire exit. I watched you remove the offending ball. Order restored. You have my appreciation. Glad we both got something out of the ordeal then. Please, sit. My view is your view. I'm being punished. My employer has placed me in an impossible position. I'm a safety inspector, watching the lines. As you might have noticed, this pylon is under construction, technically. Precisely. That's because this line, Line 9, will never be finished. Then they would be waiting a very long time. Where to start? This pylon's angle deviated more than expected as the concrete set. Hazardous near water. Shouldn't have skimped on materials. Then there are the clearance issues. The party alley rooftops are higher than the building department's official records. Since the last round of enter stabilization, they've been trying to force us lifers out. We can be fired, not easily, but they can take away the work that made us stay in the first place. I have two options. I could falsify my reports and declare Line 9 safe for construction anyway, or I could quit. Either way, the company can't lose. It's exquisite, really. A perfect stability resulting from opposing tensions. As an engineer, I can only admire it. Of course, I'm also a man. Fortunately, this spot lends itself to reflection. Contemplating my punishment helped me see how to live with it. Perhaps that's why you are drawn to this great height too. But you know, the view's not mine, just in case.
Whatever thoughts you try to summon are carried away by the crisp air sends a pleasant tingle through your abdomen. Terror to most, but for those with a taste for it, this is the...
A friend of yours? Oh, all right. Quite a formal-looking man, yes? He was here just the other day. I assume the music vendor told you as much. Yes, they did talk. It seemed quite unpleasant. I couldn't really tell. I couldn't say. A lot of people come through here. I didn't pay particular attention to him. You're welcome. Before you go, you might want to know. It seems someone is interested in you.
A light crackle teases you. Could it be you've seen this person as well?
No, I don't think so. Of course. I'm a structural engineer. I believe in stability. What Emperor has brought isn't that. Their version of stabilization shifts the responsibility of managing entropy from the state to the individual. Human existence always carries entropy with it. That's inherent in the system. Social insurance, pensions, fair wages, these are measures against the entropy of living. They're also expensive. No one's required to respect a system that oppresses and steals from them. There's entropy in all systems. No living thing can avoid it entirely.
Just as a crumb of thought appears to form, the loud coo of a pigeon snatches it from you.
I don't think the bird's the problem. You've come back.
Some questions don't require thought, but the opposite. Quiet the conscious mind and the answer comes naturally. To be surrounded by those you know, and whom you've allowed to know you in return. What self could ask for more? The pylon man turns his head ever so slightly. The gate is bound to the pole by a thin steel chain. The gap between leaves little room for passage. Only ghosts can pass freely between such crevices. You take the chain between the beak of your tool and push. Muscles tense, the chain resists, trembles, and collapses in a jangling heap at your feet. The metal creaks and gives way. The chain lies bleeding out on the cobblestones. In another life, it would have been a serpent.
You again. Any updates on the 9? But how can that be? A gentleman from the Carabineros said it would be in service any day now.
A handsome foreigner. The Carabineros were playing a trick on him.
You'd think with all the MTER money this place has gotten, they'd have fixed their aerotrams. I can't believe this. Where I'm from, the gendarmerie are bright and civic-oriented. What am I supposed to do now? I was simply passing through on my way back home to Sundark. I had been working in Copablanco, but the work dried up. That was more than a week ago, and, here I am.
Despite his predicament, he's kept up with hygiene. His beard is shaved, his nails well manicured.
There used to be a more direct route via Havergelia, but the border has been closed since it was re-annexed by Helalu. It's not so easy to get around as it used to be, you know. I'm a political economist by training.
It must be said, this is the most handsome political economist you've ever encountered. Something about his jawline makes you overly aware of your skin, your posture, your The left hasn't seen him yet.
Well, not in so many words. How to put this? You're surely familiar with the concept. A somewhat rich, older lady wants a nice exotic husband without the lifelong commitment, yes? Meanwhile, a clean, well-behaved man from the periphery wants to see the world but lacks the necessary capital. The woman pays for his relocation and gains a valuable commodity. A high-quality Sunnese husband. Where else can one find men so clean, attentive, strong, and conversant in political economy?
He seems slightly offended that you're not already familiar with the reputation of Sunnese men.
In other circumstances, I believe it could have worked out brilliantly, but alas, in my case, endogenous factors conspired to thwart my domestic bliss. What can I say? Sunnis are both practical and romantic. A man by mail, a direct order dick. There are many names for it, some more vulgar than others.
A pair of blue boxer briefs hang from a wash line in Bessanoble. A plain dress shirt crumpled on a cold bedroom floor in Landau. Somewhere in Treffer, a man leans on a marble counter, breath shallow from exhaustion.
I offer companionship and a fair trade. If you consider it as a set of transactions, love's really no more than an economic problem. I will tell you, madame, it was the lapdogs. All 6 of them. My betrothed. She wanted them to watch our lovemaking, my cleaning and housework, my lectures on recent advances in microfinance. Wherever I turned, there was a creature the size of a throw pillow, its black, wet eyes staring at me.
Watching, trembling from invisible afflictions.
At one moment, I wondered whether I was there for her pleasure or theirs. That's when I realized I need to escape Copablanco as soon as possible. Back to Sunzak, very far from here. Maybe I'll go to work for my brother, or maybe I'll sign up for a term on the lunar mines. Really, I just want to escape the developed world.
Being sent to organize among the lunar cadmium miners is a common punishment for political offenses in the People's Republics. The man turns back to his suitcases. You keep walking. A film of water, grease and rust gives the machine a scaled quality, like a sea creature risen and tamed. The beast reads, Foto Engenharia at its foot.
Designed and built in Portofino, back when the city still had the industrial capacity to manufacture on this scale by itself.
You scan up and down the docks for machinery, but find none. This must be the last of its species. The crane may lift imported and stolen wares, but the machinery itself is homemade engineering. This isn't just practical, it's pride. Cold, rough, unfeeling. Seabirds squabble overhead. The man gives no indication of registering your presence as you approach. His mirrored sunglasses are turned upwards. Orange and blue feathers, predators. He's genuinely perplexed. It must be slain. A jolt of fear snaps through you, but you manage to not let it show. A low, tilting shelf marked in heavy block letters. You turn your attention. A low, tilting shelf marked in heavy block letters. Despised subgenres.
You're doing it to yourself. Yes, more shit.
You turn your attention. You approach the steel door again, this time knowing who it belongs to. Silence from the other side. Below you, the social static of the bazaar muffled by distance. You get no answer, no twitch or shuffle behind the metal, but you get an impression of the room, a vibration, somewhere between crime scene and radioactive accident. A brief tremor runs through the metal, but it doesn't budge. Humans dominate doors every day. Hurl this one back down the pecking order. Your asset called for you. Whatever's behind this, you can take it. It's a standard lock, pickable by the right hand. The right hands would be holding tools for lock-picking. No answer. Silence. Decaying rectangle with limited movement. Kill. The frame screams in protest, then concedes as you fling the door backwards into the room.
A layer of dust covers the desk, along with a grey notebook, an electronic terminal, and a golden photo frame. In the middle of it, next to the frame, is an eye with a long single teardrop, shaped out of a fine white powder. The unmistakable symbol of the weeping eye, the secret police of Lelou's. It's soft and ringed. The word accounts is written across the top in black marker. A thicket of serial numbers, dates, columns and rows cover the pages top to bottom, along with shorthand references to accounts, both incomes and outgoings. As you flip through, 2 sets of handwriting emerge from the sheets. One and appears only in the very last entries. There are none. The first set of handwriting even uses the word cunt with the same wild abandon as the second. The first set of handwriting dates back years. A sloppy all capital. Boring, boring, boring. A list of names, titles and compensation. One of the rows has been firmly crossed out, and payments seem to have stopped a few weeks ago. Ignatz. It doesn't ring a bell. Rent, utilities and other minor operating costs, including travel. Multiple instances of round-trip tickets between Portofino and Acuerda Lelou's. Acuerda, a coastal city of the illuminated empire's mainland, a corrupt commercial centre functioning as the launch pad for Lusian goods, directed at the developed world. You avert your gaze. The pale screen reads Miwa Terminal Model 4 and displays a directory. It is far. The crying powder eye stares at you. The finger looks like a pale tram carriage, covered by late autumn snow, about to arrive at the station. Cocaine, the original power plant. Hershel, no. The eye on the photo frame is no longer weeping. As you turn the frame around, dust falls and a blade of light momentarily obliterates the row of faces presented. Inside your stomach, a family of spiders start crawling up towards your throat. Fuck. Rising from the damp cellars of regret. Taxman. S-Stock. Virtue. Radiant. Kindred. Holocene. Known to the Opera as the whole sick crew. Unknown to you as those friends you left to die 5 years ago. You abandoned them. They were counting on you, but you only thought of yourself. You scared, selfish little cunt. You slip the photo out of the frame, into your pocket. Yes. You step to the window, beyond which the bazaar spreads slightly obscured behind a fog of grime and dust. You gather up your sleeve and exhale onto the window, where your breath reveals a clear handprint in the dust. You wipe off the stain, leaving a section of clearish glass at eye level. You watch the denizens of Portofino as they hum about their routines. Just like the former overseers of Silk Number 3, standing at this window, studying the movements of the dye workers, looking for signs of disturbance. or signs of the revolutionary consciousness organizing itself. Known to the Opera as the Whole Sick Crew. You might have better odds if you go by the south and come up through the rusty gate. The smuggler inclines his head.